Yehezqėl, Ezekiel chapter 40. In the 25th year of our exile, at Rosh Hashanah, on the 10th of the new moon, in the 14th year after the city was stricken, on that same day the hand of Yah came upon me, and he brought me there. In visions of Elohim he brought me into the land of Israel, and set me on a very high mountain, and upon it toward the south was as the structure of a city. So he brought me there, and look, a man whose appearance was like the appearance of bronze, and a line of flax, and a measuring rod in his hand, and he stood in the gateway. And the man said to me, Son of man, see with your eyes, and hear with your ears, and set your heart on all that I am showing you. For you were brought here in order to show them to you. Declare to the house of Israel all that you are seeing. And look, a wall all around the outside of the house, and in the man's hand a measuring rod 6 cubits long, each being a cubit and a handbreadth. And he measured the width of the wall structure, 1 rod, and the height of 1 rod. And he came to the gate facing east, and he went up its stairs and measured the threshold of the gate, 1 rod wide, and the other threshold 1 rod wide, and the little room 1 rod long, and 1 rod wide, and between the little rooms a space of 5 cubits, and the threshold of the gate inwards from the porch of the gate was 1 rod. Then he measured the porch of the inside gate, 1 rod, and he measured the porch of the gate 8 cubits, and its posts 2 cubits, and the porch of the gate was on the inside. And the little rooms of the east gate, 3 on one side and 3 on the other, all 3 of the same size, and posts were of the same size on this side and that side. And he measured the width of the entrance of the gate, 10 cubits, and the length of the gate, 13 cubits. And the border in front of the little rooms, 1 cubit on this side, and 1 cubit on that side. And the gate room was 6 cubits on this side, and 6 cubits on that side. And he measured the gate from the roof of one little room to the roof of the other. The width was 25 cubits, door to door. And he measured the posts, 60 cubits high, even to the posts of the courtyard all around the gate. And from the front of the entrance gate to the front of the porch of the inner gate was 50 cubits. And there were narrow window frames in the little rooms, and to their posts at the inside of the gate all around, and for the porches too. And there were windows all around on the inside, and on each post were palm trees. And he brought me into the outer courtyard, and look, rooms in the pavement made all around the courtyard, 30 rooms on the pavement. And the pavement was by the side of the gates, equal to the length of the gates, the lower pavement. And he measured the width from the front of the lower gate to the front of the inner courtyard on the outside, 100 cubits toward the east and the north. And the gate of the other courtyard facing north, he measured its length and its width. And its little rooms, 3 on this side and 3 on that side. Its posts and its porches had the same measurements as the first gate. Its length was 50 cubits, and its width 25 cubits. And its windows and its porches and its palm trees had the same measurements as the gate facing east. And they went up to it by 7 steps, and its porch was in front of it. And the gate of the inner courtyard was opposite the northern gate, and at the eastern gate. And he measured from gate to gate 100 cubits. And he took me toward the south, and looked, a gate toward the south. And he measured its posts and porches according to these measurements. And windows were in it, and its porches all around like those windows. Its length was 50 cubits, and its width 25 cubits. And 7 steps led up to it, and its porch was in front of them, and it had palm trees on its posts, 1 on this side and 1 on that side. And their inner courtyard had a gate toward the south, and he measured from gate to gate toward the south 100 cubits. And he brought me to the inner courtyard through the south gate, and he measured the southern gate according to these measurements. And its little rooms and its posts and its porches were according to these measurements. And windows were in it, and in its porches all around, 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide. And there were porches all around, 25 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. And its porches were toward the outer courtyard, and palm trees were on its posts, and 8 steps led up to it. And he brought me into the inner courtyard toward the east, and he measured the gate according to these measurements. And its little rooms and its posts and its porches were according to these measurements. And windows were in it, and in its porches all around, 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide. And its porches were toward the outer courtyard, and palm trees were on its posts on this side and on that side, and 8 steps led up to it. And he brought me to the north gate, and he measured it according to these measurements, its little rooms, its posts, and its porches. And it had windows all around. Its length was 50 cubits, and its width 25 cubits. And its posts were toward the outer courtyard, and palm trees were on its posts on this side and on that side, and 8 steps led up to it. And there was a room with its entrance by the posts of the gate, where they washed the ascending offering. And in the porch of the gate were 2 tables on this side, and 2 tables on that side, on which to slay the ascending offering, and the sin offering, and the guilt offering. And on the other side, as one went up to the entrance of the north gate, were 2 tables. And on the other side of the porch of the gate were 2 tables. 4 tables were on this side, and 4 tables on that side. By the side of the gate, 8 tables on which they slew. And there were 4 tables of hewn stone for the ascending offering, 1 cubit and a half long, 1 cubit and a half wide, and 1 cubit high. On these they placed the instruments with which they slew the ascending offering and the slaughterings. And the double hooks, a handbreadth wide, were fastened all around, and on the tables was the flesh of the offerings. And on the outside of the inner gate were the rooms for the singers in the inner courtyard, one at the side of the north gate and facing south, and the other at the side of the south gate facing north. And he said to me, "This room facing south is for the priests who guard the duty of the house, and the room facing north is for the priests who guard the duty of the slaughter place. They are the sons of Zadok, from the sons of Levi, who come near Yah to serve him." And he measured the courtyard 100 cubits long and 100 cubits wide, a square. And the slaughter place was in front of the house. And he brought me to the porch of the house and measured the doorposts of the porch, 5 cubits on this side and 5 cubits on that side. And the width of the gate was 3 cubits on this side and 3 cubits on that side. The length of the porch was 20 cubits, and the width 11 cubits. And by the steps which led up to it, there were columns by the doorposts, one on this side and one on that side.